From the earliest days of the Republic, Americans broke their fast in the morning by eating whatever was most easily available, which often included bread, eggs, or leftovers. Convenience is still a driving factor when it comes to breakfast, but what is eaten has evolved over time. Now, some believed that a Roman Empire recipe called pan dulcis to be the origin of French toast. Romans would soak bread in the milk and egg mixture, then fried in butter or oil. In 1724 in Albany, New York, innkeeper Joseph French introduced the dish to America. He intended to name his creation French's Toast, obviously after his name, but inadvertently left out the apostrophe and the S to show possession. The phrase French toast first appeared in print in 1871. It appeared in the Encyclopedia of American Food and Drink. Today we're going to make French toast in a casserole. This is perfect for when you have a lot of people over for breakfast and you don't have a lot of time to spend making individual toasts. The best thing about this dish is you can make it ahead of time by soaking it overnight, and in the morning just pop it in the oven, a hot oven, and voila, easy breakfast to feed an army. Okay, so for our ingredients, we're going to need 1 loaf of sourdough bread, or you can use brioche, challah, or French bread as well. We're also going to need 8 large eggs, 2 cups of whole milk, and half a cup of heavy milk or heavy cream, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 3/4 cups of sugar, or for those of you who are diabetic like me, as usual, stevia is also good for this dish. You can use this. You can also use low sugar brown sugar if you want it, because a lot of people actually like the taste of brown sugar, so you can also substitute brown sugar if you want to. Okay, so we're going to be cutting our bread into 1-inch cubes like so. Now, because this is going to soak and sort of like melt into the mix, you really don't have to be too even with this. Just make sure that it's cut into cubes so that the milk mixture will soak into your French bread or sourdough. Okay, so that's our French bread or our sourdough. Now we're going to, in a medium bowl, we're going to mix our eggs. So remember, we're going to be using 8 eggs. Okay, so we're going to mix 8 eggs into this. Make sure you don't get any of your eggshells in there. One would hate to bite into your French toast casserole and bite into an eggshell. That would not be good. Okay, so That's 8 eggs. Okay. And then we're going to add our 2 cups of milk. Our heavy cream, 1/2 cup. Vanilla. And of course, our sugar or stevia. Okay, now we're going to be mixing this together. Make sure you mix it well. Okay. And we're going to be pouring this over our bread. Okay. Here you go. All right. Now, you don't have to do this, but I actually like to put sort of like a foundation of sliced sourdough at the bottom of my pan. Okay. Now you can add your cubed sourdough into this. Make sure that you distribute your dough evenly. Okay. And then we're going to be pouring our mixture, our egg and milk mixture, into this. Okay, now just make sure that it's evenly distributed all over your bread. Okay, now so this now, we're going to cover this dish with plastic wrap. Just make sure that the bread is soaking or at least touching the mixture so it'll soak. And that's why you need a dense bread for this. Bread that will soak in all that yummy goodness without disintegrating much. I mean, it will obviously, but if you use challah or sourdough, it will still be able to hold its shape without just melting all over the place. Okay, so we're going to cover this dish with our saran wrap. Okay. And we're going to refrigerate this for minimum of 4 hours. I would suggest you let this soak for at least overnight. All right. Okay, so we're going to be making our topping. So we're going to mix our flour, which is about 2 cups. I'm sorry, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour. 1/2 cup of light brown sugar or brown stevia. You can use that too. A tablespoon of ground cinnamon. And a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now, you may ask, what's the salt for? Well, this is just to cut. Salt is used to cut the sweetness. Okay. So we're going to mix this, and into this we're going to cut our cold, a 1/2 cup of cold unsalted butter. Okay, make sure that it's cold. It's not melted, but not too cold that you can't really cut it into the flour mixture. Okay. So we're going to cut this into our mixture. And basically we're making our topping for our casserole, our French toast casserole. Okay. So we're gonna just mix this. To be honest, I actually, when I'm doing this, I like using my hand. It's easier. So, okay. So we're going to use our hands. So all you do is just cut this until it's all crumbly. Make sure your butter is incorporated into your mixture. Okay. Okay, so then we're going to put these into the fridge, again, along with our French toast mix. And let it set overnight. Okay. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to just put this in our fridge along with the mix and we're going to let this sit overnight. Okay? All right. Okay, so when you're ready to bake the next morning, we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to unwrap our baking dish or our casserole, and we're going to take that sprinkle that we made, and we're going to sprinkle this all over the bread. This is the topping, and we're going to sprinkle it all over the top of the bread, and we're going to bake this uncovered for 45 to 60 minutes, depending on how soft you like it. Okay? And here is our French toast casserole. Okay, so this can also be prepared and wrapped tightly and frozen. Store the topping separately and add it once the bake is thawed. It can also be frozen after baking. So we're going to wrap the dish with plastic wrap, then aluminum foil, and store up to 2 months in the freezer. When you are ready to eat it, thaw it overnight in the fridge, remove all the wrapping, and bake at 350 degrees for 20 minutes and serve. Okay? And that is it. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Sunday Dinners with Tina. Be sure to try out this recipe at home and share your baking adventures with us. All right, if you like our content, please click the like button, and also don't forget to subscribe so we can send you notifications about all the upcoming episodes of Sunday Dinners with Tina. Until next time, happy baking, everybody!